Are you being seduced by AI, artificial intelligence? So it's the current buzzword, it's the new kid on the block, it's arguably the sexiest thing on the internet right now. But let's just have a look at AI from a spiritual perspective and from a consciousness perspective. So AI, it's in all our lives. We all use it to one degree or another nowadays. Nothing wrong with that when we are using it. So there's nothing wrong with it when we're using it. But the problem becomes is when we rely on it so much that we replace our own organic skills and rely completely on AI and then use it or lose it. We've got the potential to lose skills. So let me just give you this little example. So people my age and older, we'd pass a driving test, for example. Let's say we passed our driving test, we lived in London and we wanted to visit our friend in Scotland. We'd get the road map out, we'd look at the key roads, the key towns, plan a route, off we'd pop with our car, navigating it simply just with the road map. And we might make a few wrong turnings, but you know, we were chilled out about that and we get there in the end. Now, today's generation, if they passed the driving test and wanted to drive from London to Scotland, nothing wrong with this, by the way, but they'd switch the sat-nav on. They wouldn't have any kind of, most of them would not have any spatial awareness of the roads they were going, the route. They would just simply blindly follow the sat-nav. Now, what happens if the internet goes or the phone dies? They have got no tools then, no tools whatsoever. They've never learnt the skills and they simply panic because they don't know how to navigate themselves from London to Scotland. That's the point I'm making. You know, there's nothing wrong in us using AI, but it's when we replace it or we don't learn the skills because we're relying on AI to do it for us. And, you know, there really is this use it or lose it, because as human beings, we are the absolute apex of creators. We've got the potential to be creators in God's image. You know, we really have. We are the creators in the universe, being a man or woman or a human. I prefer to say man and woman rather than human. But we really have got that potential. However, if we hook ourselves up to AI or heavily rely on AI, we start to lose our connection to our creativity. And the connection to our creativity is our direct connection to source. Now, one of my sayings is your greatest ever resource is your direct connection to source. So arguably, and this is my comprehension, that if we hook ourselves up to AI and put it central in our lives, then we are negating our connection to source, or at least we very much dumbing it down, aren't we? And another example of this is, like, for example, I know of people that write books on AI and they'll stick something in it. The AI program writes the book basically, then they claim it and as theirs, and you know, jolly hockey sticks. That's all right, but if you're claiming to be a spiritual teacher and you're writing your books on AI, you've got to argue, well, where is that divine creativity? What's the frequency of that book you've written? It's coming from a computer program, not coming from your heart. So, you know, there's any number of things to consider around this, and it really is the use it or lose it. You can appear to be so clever when you've put something into your ChatGPT and you come out with all these facts and figures and, oh, aren't you wonderful? But what's that doing? All that's doing is feeding your ego. Nothing else. It's not feeding your soul. It's not feeding your progression. So, you know, just take it with a word of caution would be my advice. And another analogy with the use it or lose it analogy is, you know, if any of you have ever broken a leg, for example, and you're in your plaster cast for 6 or 8 weeks, when they remove the plaster cast, you'll find that the muscle wastage is gone because you've not used your muscles in your leg because you've had it in a plaster. Exactly the same. If we stop using our organic creativity and our organic intelligence, then it will be like the thinned leg in a plaster cast. We will lose the ability. Now, there is this is going quite deep, so, you know, it's up to you whether you take this on board or not. But if you look at the alien races of the Greys, they used to be more organic, more individual, more connected to source. But in their history, they volunteered to connect themselves up to artificial intelligence. And over the eons of time, they've become a homogenous, single, robotic kind of minion type creature. They have lost their organic creativity from creator. And so that's just something to bear in mind. That's not on my timeline. I am not choosing AI. I do not consent. I am not going on the AI timeline. But, you know, we are entering this time of the timeline split, aren't we? And it's a sole choice. I'm not telling you what to do. It's entirely your choice. But I'm just asking you to consider your own stance on AI and what fits with you, what fits with your intuition. Forget the ego of coming across as being intelligent or whatever it might do, but what is your heartfelt feeling for this? If you want to hook up to the AI timeline, you go for it. But I'm just saying that is not something that fits with me. I am not going on that timeline. I will use AI. For example, I use my sat nav, but if the internet goes or the sat nav sends you down a road that's closed, I can still get myself out of it if I've got a map in the car. So it's that kind of analogy. Use it, but you use it. Don't let it use you. That would be my advice. You can find me, folks, gillianengland.com. I've got a brand new course out, really exciting. And you can find my books on Amazon, and you can find me on Telegram. Sending you loads of love, folks. Bye for now.